Hey guys, Wade Willis here for Wade's Weeb Reviews, and I'm talking to you guys today about Fruits Basket Season 2, Episode 22. And the name of the episode is This Isn't What I Want. Now, this episode picks up right where we left off with Yuki having a conversation with Kakeru, and basically this was a bombshell to me, finding out that he doesn't actually see Toru as a romantic partner. And you find out that he basically is just seeing her, he just sees her as a mother figure. And when I found this out, obviously I was shocked. I thought they were going to be going with the love triangle the rest of the time for this show. And I mean, I could have gone with that. That is a plot device that's kind of overused a bit. But really, I was totally surprised by this. But then he kind of talks about the situations and how he realized it for sure when he saw her chase after Kyo and saw her as like a woman at that point. And then he talked about how all of the time he started acting like how he felt like a man should act towards a woman after that, kind of forcing the romantic situations and trying to be all flirty, which now when I'm thinking back to those situations, it was completely out of character for Yuki, and it did seem like he was, now that I'm thinking about it, that he was kind of acting and embellishing on those things. So actually makes complete sense now. And then I don't know about you guys, but I really like Kakeru, and even though he is kind of a douchebag, he is a good dude, and Yuki's finally seeing that he is a good dude, but their fighting back and forth is pretty funny. And the whole part where Kakeru kind of like talks like, why are you you don't want to give her the burden, but basically you'll give it to me. And then Yuki's like, oh, it's a burden for you. And then he starts acting like, oh, I can't handle it, I won't be able to like eat today. Be thinking about all this stuff, which isn't true, but he is a good dude, and I do like him a lot. Really interesting character, super funny, basically the opposite of Yuki in every way. Then we go into the house. Kyo gets super pissed when Shigure finds out that he's actually the prince for the Cinderella play, which is hilarious. I think almost any human being would find Kyo as a prince in it as really funny. And then Kyo kind of loses his shit when Yuki tells him that Toru has his hat, the one that basically Kyo did not want back because Yuki had touched it and stuff. So really, and if you guys, I thought it was a bit over the top how upset he was about this, but if you guys kind of understand this better, go ahead and comment in the comments below. I'd love to understand why this is such a big deal to Kyo, but whatever. I'm not a Zodiac, so who am I to judge in this? So, and who would have thought the play is going horribly? Duh. I mean, they cast Toru as an evil character. Saki, the Waves girl, is Cinderella. I mean, no way this is going to go well. So they kind of decide, oh, I guess we need to rewrite the script for this to work. Honestly, I really wanted to see the play go about as the people miscast in the characters. I thought that would be funny, but I'm sure they're going to make this into a really funny play as well, with the people rewriting the script to fit the characters a little bit better. It's going to be extra. And speaking of extra, Ayame makes an appearance, which every time he is in a scene, he totally steals it. And he's obviously meant to do that because he's the most extra human being ever. And his assistant, also extra as fuck. I love both of them. So I was excited to have both of them in this for the kind kind of going through trying to fit people for costumes and stuff. Kyo is MIA. He's not practicing for the play. Yuki finds him and basically calls him out and says, like, you're going to make Toru worry. Then Kyo kind of loses his shit and calls Yuki out for being a spoiled brat. All of this stuff, saying that you've never had to struggle, all of these things. Now, I think this is very interesting because while Yuki was born with like the silver spoon in his mouth, when we flash back to things Yuki went through, and both of their childhoods were horrible, but they're horrible for different reasons. Kyo did have someone that loved him unconditionally, and that was, basically his adopted father, who was his sensei and everything. Yuki did not have that. Kyo did. Which would you rather have? Being exiled? It's very difficult who had a better life. Both are basically, I would say, the worst out of the two Zodiac being raped. All of them are pretty horrible now that I'm thinking about it. But this is a very grass is always greener on the other side thing. And Yuki has started to, I think, realize how horrible it's been for Kyo growing up. And Yuki has grown because of this. And I honestly feel like Kyo, like when he punches the glass, when he finally like loses it, he has that flash. And I think he's starting to understand things weren't so good for Yuki either. And I think we're going to get to a point in the story, and no, I haven't read the light novel or manga or anything. But I probably will after this season because I know they're not going to finish the story and I got to know what happens. But I feel like they're eventually going to come together and they're starting to understand each other a lot more. And obviously it's due to Toru helping them grow and kind of pushing them both as people. So Kyo dips out, punches a glass, hand bleeding. And then there's this exchange, and basically Machi says that Yuki is nothing like a prince. And there's more stuff leading up to that, but that's the important part. And this, Yuki's kind of taken aback by this, but not, to me, I don't think it's in a bad way. And I think, again, I haven't read forward into this. This is just me from watching the show. I believe I kind of can see something with Yuki and Machi happening romantically. I would actually like to see that. They're both very interesting people. It would be kind of funny because they both have gray hair that they end up together. But yeah, I think it's very interesting. And I really think they're going to go more into her character coming up in episodes. And I'm assuming there's going to be another season because there's no way they can wrap this up in like 4 episodes. And then Toru's waiting in the classroom for Kyo, which she has a rewritten script. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this has to, and of course they did it for plot and whatever, but I'm like, that has to be the fastest rewritten script ever. Like, what do they rewrite dialogue lines, whole characters in like an hour and a half at most? So, script's rewritten. Kyo breaks down because Toru's like basically like, hey, we rewrote this for both of us, for me because I'm horrible at acting. And God, I love every single scene Toru and Kyo are in together. The chemistry, and it's so strange, and I know people say opposites attract, and this is the prime example of it. And I just love it, and I can't wait to see how this relationship goes. I hope it goes into a positive direction. It continues to go in a positive direction. But yeah, guys, I'm super excited for the play. What about you guys, though? I'd like to know what you guys thought about the episode. Did you think this one was as good as I thought? How pumped are you guys for the play? And don't forget to smash that like button. Hey guys, this is Wade Willis. Thanks for watching my video. Here's 2 other videos I think you might like, and don't forget to subscribe to my page.